Thank you. Man. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It's an honor to be here with so many beautiful faces. I'm going to talk for about 30 minutes about the beginnings of the Chicano theater with the Teatro Campesino, and then you're going to have a treat because you're going to see an acto performed by 3 different CSU students and professional actor Ruben Garfias. It's a fun show. So let's start. This is the title of this abbreviated lecture. What we were saying back then, and we're still saying now, we didn't cross the border crossed us. I wanted to illustrate the map of Mexico, and you see it here, and it goes all the way up there. So when they tell you to go back where you're from, if you are of Mexican descent, tell them, I'm here, sucker. I wanted to use the F word, but it's too early. I have different titles for what it is. You know, we started calling ourselves Chicanas, female, Chicanos, male, and then in came all kinds of different types of, you know, who are we? So I have Chicanx theater. Is not new. The Spanish missionaries brought theater with them. They brought plays to proselytize the Indians, the Native Americans that they hadn't yet killed, and teaching them about the Roman Catholic faith. Plays that were done were about the Christmas pageants, Los Pastores, or La Pastorela, the Shepherd's Play, and then Las Cuatro Apariciones de la Virgen de Guadalupe, or the 4 appearances of the Virgin de Guadalupe. And that play is now being done in LA in the coming weeks by the Latino Theater Company at the Cathedral downtown. If you want to see it, it's free. Thousands of people have seen this production over the years. Teatro Campesino started that tradition in San Juan Bautista, where they moved to in 1971 and involved the community, as does the Latino Theater Company with their production at the Cathedral. It's magnificent. Try to see it. It's folk theater. Because it was created by folk. The folk adapted. They adapted from the Spanish and did it sometimes in their own language. But basically, it's when a professional company does a folk play, it's no longer folk. When the Teatro Campesino hired a professional singer-actress to do it in San Juan, or when they hire professionals here, you know, I used to joke that it was no longer folk theater when you hire a professional virgin. That's supposed to be funny. Where's my audience? So the hell with you people, I'm going to talk to them. I'm joking. Okay, professional Spanish language was done basically in Mexico, and we had also from Texas, late 19th century into the early 20th century professional theater coming from Mexico. Sometimes they came from as far as Cuba, and they were performing in the barrios, the Spanish-speaking barrios, and that's why it wasn't covered by theater historians, because theater historians didn't know that there was a Spanish language theater. Pendejos. Okay, so in LA, we had professional theater in the 1920s. And we had carpas. The carpas were tent shows. These were people's theater. They would put together variedades, variety shows, and they sang songs and they performed skits, which were the beginnings of what is called an acto. They were sometimes political, because the acto is always political. You'll see why. And the carpas were very important. The pelado is an important figure. Some people call a pelado a skin. How would you? Where are my Mexicans? Where's somebody who understands the term pelado? ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? How would you translate pelado? Naked. Well, not really. Well, pelado refers to me. I'm pelado. What can I tell you? But no, it's a lot of contemporary audiences know who Charlie Chaplin was. How many of you who are not born when that was happening? Charlie Chaplin is usually A tramp, like yeah, okay, so the little guy who gets out of trouble all the time, Cantinflas being, and you can see him on any YouTube or whatever in the movies. Mario Moreno, who created the character of Cantinflas, was the highest paid professional cinema actor in the world in his time. Cantinflas, he performed from 1930s to 1981, and he was one of many carperos. The person on the, over here, stage left, is Cantinflas. Who can tell me who this fellow is? Any? I get all kinds of responses when I'm talking, and hasta los viejos no se acuerdan. I don't know. I don't know who he is. I'm done. José Luis.
I think it's Joaquin Balaguer.
Ah, okay. Well, not that important. You can always look it on Wikipedia. This is a carpero, and I love this slide because what does it say to the observer? The man is, I call it, the Mexican on a rope. And to me, it's a metaphor of all of us who are othered, trying to do our lives, trying to get through the day, and it's like walking a tightrope. And you don't have to be wearing a mariachi outfit or anything like that, but he's balancing. Balance. Luis Valdez and I spoke here, I think a year and a half ago, and he's written a book that some of you hope. Yes, question?
What you're showing us in this picture is like a surrealism type picture, like the Mexican on a tightrope.
Can you be a little louder?
Sorry. Sorry. I'm saying like this picture is hard to tell if he's tightroping above or lower. I mean, we can't tell, but there's always going to be a mystery behind it.
Can you hear him? How high? Could he be this high off the ground? We can't tell. This is wonderful. You're studying photography because what's on the other side? Where is this man coming from? Is he going that way and what's over there? Is he going that way and what's over there? That's our lives. And your young lives, you're still not necessarily certain where you're going on the tightrope, but it's important to know that it's a tightrope and it's going to be tough, but you can make it. They were very, very popular. The Mime Troupe, San Francisco Mime Troupe, was a Marxist collective founded in 1965, and this is an example of their type of theater, which we call rascuachi. And for those of you who don't understand the term rascuachi or rascuache, it means the underdog. A pelado is rascuachi. If you drive through a barrio and there's a car on blocks in the front yard, that's rascuachi, okay? But it's fun. It's fun, it's funny. They used the puppets up there. It was street theater in the parks, and Luis Valdez went to work with the Mime Troupe. He graduated from San Jose State College, as it was called back then, in 1964, 65. And he goes to Delano, where he was born, after he worked with Ron Davis and the Mime Troupe, learning the techniques of Comedia dell'arte, which we will see. He works with the Mime Troupe. He begins to work with Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, no relation, and striking farm workers in Delano. Luis started as a farm worker at the age of 3 in the San Joaquin Valley. So when he goes to Delano and says, we want to start a teatro, they do. He gathers people in a room, and the Teatro Camben, the acto, is born. There are 5 goals to the acto, and it's the same thing for any political theater. 1, inspire the audience to social action. You're going to see that in the acto. Illuminate specific points about social concerns or problems. You're going to see that. Satirize the opposition. Satire is an interesting form of comedy because satire is making fun of people in power. Saturday Night Live has a ball with satire, whether it's a Republican president or a Democratic president, they make fun of them because those people are in power. But satire is very, very funny, especially because there's physicality in satire. You show or hint at a solution. Show or hint at a solution, and you'll see that in the acto. Express what people are thinking. So all of these concerns are very, very important when we think of the acto. This is Luis on the left. There's the Don Taco, and Luis is holding the pig face mask, and over here is Don Coyote, the farm labor contractor, the enemy of the farm worker. There are conventions. In film, a convention in film is the close-up. We can't do a close-up on stage. The conventions of the acto, number one, there's no fourth wall, meaning this is not, there's no curtain here. In realism, you have an imaginary, a transparent fourth wall. The actors, the characters on stage do not talk to you. You're assuming that this is really happening. They're doing it as if it's a real situation. They hear you. They certainly hear you, especially if they're doing a comedy, because they've got to stop when people laugh. So no fourth wall is very, and you'll see it, very important. Farce, exaggerations. Farce is a very physical humor. When somebody slips on a banana peel, would you laugh? Yeah. If I slipped on a banana peel, would you laugh? That's called, we're going to have questions after the acto, forgive me, we'll have plenty of time. That's elder abuse, what you're doing. Not you, saying that you would laugh. Okay, if you're, you know, grandparents are funny people. I know a few. I don't like them. I'm joking. I am a grandfather. I should be a great-grandfather. Okay, so now, farce. An example of farce is the slapstick. It's physicality. Cartoons are full of farce. Farce, I think the best example of farce is The Fall. And if we know that the person didn't hurt themselves, we can laugh. If we know that the person hurt themselves, you get up and help the person get up. The fart is a very good example of farce. Farce, fart. Now, usually when I use the term fart, people laugh. So I guess none of you have digestive systems. Who has not laughed when somebody farts in the room? Please. Whether it's grandpa or a dog, you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh at the fart. So think of farce, think of slap, think of falling without hurting somebody. That is farce. And it's a mixture. The acto is a mixture of all of these conventions. Exaggerations, which you will see, are very important. Masks are crucial, and we'll see that in the acto that you're going to see. Signs around the characters' names are crucial. When Valdez got to Delano, went home to Delano to see what the campesinos were doing, he knew that many of them were not even literate. They were mostly Mexicanos, Mexicanas, Filipinos, and a few others. But there was this language barrier, so they would have signs, and you'll see the sign indicating who that person is. What do you think I would have as a sign around my neck? What do I represent to you besides farts? He introduced me. You now know who I am. What would it be? What did I do for a living? I'm looking at you. Okay, you didn't hear that, Professor. Do you know what I did for a living? Por favor. Professor. So I guess I'm going to have to wear a professor sign every time I go lecture so you'll know who I am. Nobody listens to introductions. You can find me on Wikipedia. If you use artificial intelligence, I don't know which site my great-nephew showed me. I said, look up my name. And he plugged in my name on my Mac, and up came Jorge Huerta, born in 1492. No, it was really, hold your breath. It was 1942, but dyslexic. IA, artificial intelligence is neither. I mean, so it tells you when I was born, where I went to school. He published this book, he directed that play. In 1970, he got his PhD. 74, went on and to teach at UCSD, wrote such and such a book, directed these plays, and in 1985, he died. He went on to write plays. I wish I knew what platform that was. But you can't trust technology. I didn't die. I'm still here. Some people wish I had died, but I didn't. I did not die. Okay, so signs are very important. Stereotypes. In the Commedia dell'arte, there was always a stereotype of el professore. El professore, and he wore like a graduation gown, you know, and he was an idiot. The old man, the pelado, all of these stereotypes. We have been stereotyped to the nth degree by the media and by theater. So that's what we're talking about, a response to how we have been represented. Clear, after the stereotypes, there's got to be a clear distinction between good and evil characters. Very, very important, because it's all about good, the farm worker, versus evil, the grower, and the grower's henchman. Valdez talks about the danger in going to the fields, and you can't get on the fields because it's private property, but they would be on the edge of the fields. Their stage was a flatbed truck. Their lighting was portable flashlights and or headlights if they were not on the truck. And they would tell the campesinos, sálguense de los files, get out of the fields, join the strike. And it was very complicated because to this day, families don't all think the same. And there were people, Valdez says it, I had relatives who were scabs, people who were breaking the strike by crossing the picket line and going to work because they had a family to feed. And so the problem is always going to be, how do I persuade people what I'm saying is right? How do I dramatize a situation? I'm giving you a lecture, but the teatro must give you a dramatized situation, not a dramatized lecture, but something about the situation at hand. Clear distinction between good and evil. And allegorical figures. There's another acto that the teatro created early, and it's called La Quinta Temporada, the fifth season, and it's about the strike, and the seasons are represented by farm workers with fake dollar bills pasted to their backs. So when the patron says, "Summer, get in here," on walks, they had a carpa, they would hide behind a very, very, very rasquachi backdrop. And in walks, "I am Summer." And his back is covered with dollars, paper dollars. Behind him is the campesino picking the dollars, putting them in his back pocket. Behind the campesino is the patron taking dollars out of the farm worker's back pockets and putting them in his. And behind the patron is who? Who makes the money? Who? It's called el patrón, which means the boss. Agriculture is one of the main sources of income in the state of California. We're the nation's breadbasket, and this union is trying to show people hasta tal fecha, to this day, that we need a union. They need a union. They need to be able to have decent housing, et cetera, et cetera. So at the end of the season, summer passes, and the campesino reaches for the money in his back pocket. It's not there. The coyote gets the money, and he counts his. And over here is the farm owner or the patron, and he's counting big wads of money. And the allegorical figures are the seasons. Summer. An allegory is an idea in costume. If you think of the 7 deadly sins, which I assume some of you may know, give me one. Give me one deadly sin. I can't hear you. Lust. We love that one. What's another one? Pride, etc. Okay, etc., etc., etc. All you have to do is look at a certain orange face's biography, and he fits every single one of those 7 deadly sins. The church also added, and this is true, another 7, the most important to me, which is it's like unholy wealth. There's a whole lot of people that have the money, and we do not. So these are the things, these are the situations that create the need for an acto. When the Teatro Campesino started to tour, this has a pointer, but it doesn't read. This is the United States of America. Over here is Delano. Okay, so the teatro performs for the farm workers, and then they get invited to Stanford University to perform for the university students and the university audience. So then they go to Stanford. And then they get invited to get to Los Angeles, to Fresno, you name it, all across the country. Chicano theaters were being created in the wake of Teatro Campesinos Actos, talking about good versus evil and bringing the lives of the people in the audience to life. We had teatros all over Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and to this day we now have 125 teatros that have been documented, theater companies in this country performing in their communities. They're everywhere. A lot of the teatros will perform the pastorela or Los Pastores, the Christmas plays, or the appearances of the Virgin. Very, very popular, of course, in Roman Catholic churches and barrios and other churches as well. So theater has been a very important educational tool. Okay, Doug, how many more minutes do I have? 10. Okay, I need 2 volunteers. This is to come up on stage. There's a staircase over here. I have one more, okay, 2 very brave souls. Actos are created through improvisation, meaning I'm going to demonstrate an example of how to display the difference between good and evil. Hold on. This is about the conflict in our own heads about what do I do. Now I want you to give me, he's going to do something, I'm going to play the main character, of course. I gotcha, they're finally laughing. Okay, now, one is a good angel and it's always on the left. Okay, you're the good angel, give me an angel. This angel needs orthopedic surgery. Give me some wings, silly. Oh yeah, perfect. I did this at UC Santa, you can relax. I did this at UC Santa Barbara, and the student playing the first angel goes like this. No, it's gotta be like this, it's gotta be funny. Give me some wings. No, I don't want, that's pretty. No, make it silly. Do what he does. Better. Okay, hold on, okay. Now, from the audience, this man has to do something, he has to make a decision that could be bad, right? And the good angel is telling me not to do it. We all have those angels on our shoulders, and the bad angel is telling me to do it. So the bad angel is the one who instigates this conflict for this man. What does somebody in the audience think I am being tempted to do? Temptation, yes? Gambling. To gamble. Another. To kill myself? I'm rehearsing that one, okay? But try again. I'm not going to kill myself. Ooh. What sin is that? Okay, the good one. Okay, so I'm at a party, and it's not an old people's party. There are some beautiful young women at this party. It's a quinceañera. So great grandpa is sitting in his chair. I don't have a chair to sit in. This bad angel is going to tempt me to try to do something physical with this innocent young beauty. Do it. Talk to me. The angel has a voice, okay? And the angels, what does the angel say to me, you, that gave us the lust? What does he say? How does he try to persuade this guy to try to... Okay, you heard it? The wings, we need the wings. Oh, look at her. to me. Tell me to do that. Did you hear what the young lady said?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Okay.
Mm,
See the girl, just go for it.
yeah?
Just do it.
Wow. And the good angel says,
Hey man, you don't need to do that. You see, she's beautiful.
yeah,
Treat her respect.
respect. ¿Y tú?
Treat her some respect.
These angels are not very persuasive. You will not be giving the graduation speech, nor will you. Give me some life. We don't have much time. I want you to play with it. Play an exaggeration. And, okay, play the demon.
Okay. I'll try. Okay. You see that wonderful woman? She's like a rose. You can feel it, and you can grab it without any.
My son, you don't need to do this. Look at her. She's beautiful. She's innocent.
Oh,
And also, she is kind.
You're
Treat
fighting-
her
you're-
some respect.
But don't let the angel fool
Don't
you.
let him do this to you. Don't
Do
let
it,
him do
man.
this to
Do
you,
it.
man.
okay,
There,
so.
no.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're wonderful angels.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that's the idea of good versus evil. And we are living in a time, and we'll talk after the acto, which you're going to see, we'll have a talk back. So more questions, love questions. Think about it, think about the acto, and I'm going to find my way down there. No. You want me to-